Welcome to Loren's Adventures Out There. I'm Loren, and I'm with Castle Capes and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. Please subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. Also, please like our program because it really helps us. Today, we're talking Muppets. Yay! So the reason why I wanted to talk about the Muppets today is because on Friday, they aired the last episode of Muppets Now, and then they aired all 10 episodes of Ned To Earth, which is a new show from the Jim Henson Company, all on Disney Plus. The Muppets began their illustrious career outside of the Sesame Street. We're not going to talk about Sesame Street today. But they started their illustrious career on The Muppet Show in the 70s, which mimicked the variety shows that were really popular in the day, like Sonny and Cher, Donnie and Marie, all of these variety shows that were really popular. I've actually enjoyed The Muppets through the last several years, but there's always been this need to reinvent the Muppets, which I thought is highly unnecessary because they were perfect as they were in the 70s. And I just think that it was a mistake for them to do that. One not need go any further than the Muppet Show, which is where they were perfect. But I guess they couldn't really copy the style of the Muppet Show in the 70s. The variety shows, I don't think people these days understand variety shows. So they made Muppets Now more of like a YouTube show, like we're doing right now. And Scooter would drop the shows into the upload file and they'd air them. And I thought that was a really clever way to, bring the Muppets in. Unfortunately, I wanted to say that I loved the Muppets Now as much as I did in the first episode. I really liked the first episode of Muppets Now. I had some problems with it, but by the end of this series or this season, I'm a little less rosy about it. I just feel like it tried too hard, and while it did, I said that they did manage to recapture the spirit of the Muppets in the 70s, but the problem is that they lost its edge. The Muppets were always subversive in some way, where yes, they were for kids, but at the same time, there was a subversive humor that you see in, programs like Phineas and Ferb, for example, that are jokes meant for adults as well. And I just feel like it was missing that. What's funny is that the Muppets show in 2015 on ABC, I felt tried to reinvent itself as well, gave itself the edge, but it went too far in the other direction. And so I think that it lost its audience because it was made mainly for adults rather than kids. Muppets Now is sadly too drab. It lost its edge. And I'm going to give you an example. So they have a segment called Muppet Field Test or Field Lab, something like that. And on it, there's Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker. During the Muppet Show, it was one of my favorite segments when they would be on. And the reason why, and this is going to sound awful, but the reason why is because Beaker got hurt in every episode, but accidentally got hurt. But it was funny. He's a Muppet, and he'd make me.
Attention! Hey, guys, listen up, please.
Excuse me, Mr. Kermit.
Yeah, sorry, Chief.
May I? Sure.
Is that safe?
Of course. I'm wearing protective gloves.
Okay.
That kind of sound. And so he was a Muppet, and so you didn't really panic that much. If it was human, then it would be different. But that was part of the humor. And in Muppets Now, Beaker, he helped Honeydew with the experiment, and there was nothing that happened to him. And so it just kind of killed the humor for that segment. And then the other one is Okie Dokie Cooking, which is a Swedish Chef one. They added Beverly Plume, who I thought was really annoying. It was a turkey that hosted this cook-off. And then they had like some kind of celebrity chef and who was there to, cook. And the Swedish chef had nothing to do in this segment. They'd cut over to him and he'd be like, and then he'd all of a sudden panic seeing the other chef actually cooking. And it was just, I don't know, I didn't love it. So those are the ones that I didn't like that much. I did like Lifestyle with Miss Piggy, and interestingly enough, Pepe's Unbelievable Game Show. Lifestyle with Miss Piggy is I just love Miss Piggy is my favorite. So, but the thing that I think they got there was that Miss Piggy is the butt of the joke, and it's funny. It's funny that she's the butt of the joke, but she thinks she's this big diva, and she is a diva. But she thinks like she's all that in a bag of chips. But there's always some joke about her in this segment, and I'll tell you, I don't know whoever thought of it. They introduced him as her stylist in the 2015 show, but Uncle Deadly is hilarious as her partner on the show. They interact with each other, and it's just so funny. So I really did enjoy that. And the reason why I said interestingly enough about Pepe's Unbelievable Game Show is I don't necessarily like Pepe. I just think that he's a weird character, but I thought that he was really funny on the segment. There was this guy named Cartoon. He kept calling him Cartoon. It's just funny, and he calls Scooter Scooper, and all of these things. And the nice thing about his segment is that the games were always different, so there was always something different going on. So even though it was a static segment, that's another problem with Muppets Now, is that they were 6 static segments, all the same segment every episode. So you never really enjoyed some of the other Muppets, like Fozzie and Gonzo, Rolf. I barely saw any of them, if at all. And the other thing that it needed was more musical segments. That was one great thing about the Muppet Show, is that they always had celebrities coming out doing music, and I know that they could find musicians that would love to do the program with them. So I think it definitely needed music. We definitely needed more Dr. Keith and the Electric Mayhem. So those are my thoughts on Muppets Now. Unfortunately, I can't rate it very high. I would say I give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's like somewhere in the middle there. Not great. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not the Muppets for me. So next up, we have Ned from Earth from the Jim Henson Company, and I actually don't know if they count as Muppets per se, but for all intents and purposes, we'll count them as Muppets today. The show revolves around Ned, an alien from another world who has been sent here to conquer the Earth. But he falls in love with celebrities and Earth television. So instead of conquering the Earth, he decides to start his own talk show. And he has his own little sidekick named Cornelius. There's an artificial intelligence named Betty. And then these creatures called Claudes. They're clone living organisms for destruction. At first, I didn't really know what to think of this series. I think it started off a little wrong. They had Andy Richter and Jillian Jacobs, who, no offense to them, but I think that they tried too hard. And I feel like they tried to be like they would be on a Sesame Street episode where they talk really slowly and hammy and whatever. But it's fine for Sesame Street, but it was not fine for this program. However, as the show went on, I really started enjoying the episodes. There are some, I think, great celebrities. Most of them on the BD list. I really like, for some reason, Nene Leakes and RuPaul. You gotta love RuPaul. And you gotta love Billy D. Williams, who is Lando Calrissian in the Star Wars franchise. He stumbled a little bit, but he is Lando freaking Calrissian, and you gotta love him. I liked Rachel Bloom, Kristen Shaw, and Gina Carano. I love all of them. There's some others that I can't think of off the top of my head. The show is, I think, more interesting when the guests were really relaxed and trying to be more of themselves. I think that's why I like Nene and RuPaul. They seem like themselves on the program. And with Ned to have the good chemistry with them. And for the most part, he did. I thought that Paul Ruggs was the puppeteer for Ned, and I thought that he was excellent. I believe that the show is unscripted, like Muppets Now, and so I think that he really did bounce off of the guests really well, and so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Anyway, if you were disappointed with Muppets Now, I would give Ned to Earth a chance. It's not perfect, but it's a lot of fun, I think. And to me, it's more like the Muppet Show than Muppets Now. So, anyway, those are my thoughts on the Muppets. I wanted to share them with you this week. Anyway, I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you want me to talk about and leave those in the comments below. Please subscribe to our program. Hit the bell for notifications. And please do like this post. It really does help us. You can always reach us on Twitter at CCC Disney Uni, or me personally at Lojav, and visit our website at www.castlescapesinfluence.com. Thanks for joining. Bye.